What's up, everybody? Mike here with Trail 7. Today we're going to give the TJ a little bit of love that it's been after. We're going to introduce our TJ plug-and-play speaker bundle. We're using the Select Increments dash pods. We're going to show you how they come from Trail 7, fully loaded, fully ready to install. We're going to show you a couple of options that you can get. We're going to show you how easy these are to install into your TJ. These are applicable for the full TJ range, 97 to 06. There's two options. There's going to be a 97 to 02, and there's going to be an 03 to 06. The difference for one is going to be the connector style. If you have the 97 to 02, you're going to have this black connector on there. And if you have the 03 to 06, you're going to have this white connector on there. Now, all of these are going to come from Trail 7 plug and play, so you don't have to worry about that. I will warn you, though, there are some 03 models that do still have this black connector. Every now and then we receive a call from an 03 customer that should have the white connector, they have the black connectors. Typically, it should be 9702, black connectors, 03 to 06, the white connectors, because that's where they had the facelift change. Something else to note with the installation, it's the same. However, for the 97 to 02, and I'll show you when we get in here, inside the dash, there's a little bracket that needs to be removed. We have a couple second video to show you how to remove that bracket. This here being an 05, doesn't have that bracket. So 03 to 06 is not going to have the bracket. So what we're going to demonstrate here is for the 03 to 06. The only difference for the 97 to 02 is that little bracket, and we'll show you a little video on how to remove that. So this bundle is set up for, right now, the kicker speakers, which is what we're going to install. However, if it's a bundle from us and it's an Alpine speaker or a JBL speaker or a JL speaker or whatever speaker that we're going to put into the pods, the installation is the same. This applies to any brand speaker pods that we put out for the TJ. Today, we're going to put the kicker speakers in. Now, just to show how the speakers are going to come to you, they're going to come loaded in the knee pods. This is Select Increments dash pods, what this pod is called. We're going to load the pod with the 5 1/4 coax speaker. We're going to attach the appropriate connector based on the year. The overhead roll bar speakers are going to come with the appropriate connector attached. Inside of this pod, it's going to be filled with a little bit of polyfill, so it's going to help the speaker perform a little bit better. For the tools, the only thing required is a Phillips head screwdriver. Unless you have the 9702, then you will need a pair of metal shears. We'll show you that. I'm going to show you a little clip on the video. But for this year here, just a Phillips head screwdriver. Very easy install. So that's the available bundle and some options. Let's go ahead and show you how easy this is to install into your TJ. All right, we're going to start with the passenger side speaker. The knee speaker is located right into here. So there's two screws that come out from the side here. You can either drop the glove box if you want to. It doesn't get in the way at all. There isn't any panel that's underneath there. So you can leave it in, you can take it out, whatever is easiest for you. So we're going to remove the two screws, pull the cover off here. You'll see the factory speaker. It's going to have two screws in the top and two screws in the bottom. You're going to remove those two screws. You're going to pull the factory speaker out. You're going to disconnect it, reattach the new pod, screw the new one back in, and put the cover back onto it. So these pods are identified with the driver's side and the passenger side. So right up top here, it says right passenger, and on the driver, it'll say left driver. So you really can't go wrong as long as you install the passenger and the passenger, and the driver and the driver. So on the passenger side, we're going to go ahead and install the passenger following that method I just described there. So let's remove these two Phillips head screws on the side and get started. Two Phillips screws right here. And this just pulls out. There's two clips on the inside that hold this in, so you're just going to pull straight out at you. And again, you don't need to drop the glove box. You don't need to remove it because there's nothing underneath the glove box that's preventing you from getting that out. So here are the two factory screws that are going to be removed from the bottom, and then two factory screws from the top. They're Phillips head or 7mm. I would just stick with the Phillips head, so that way it's just one tool throughout. Again, this is an 03 to 06 model, so this speaker does have a factory enclosure. The 9702 doesn't have an enclosure. The speaker is held in with the bracket, so you'll remove the speaker, same method, and then cut that bracket out. And we'll put that little clip of how to do that right here.
The more that you kind of jiggle it, the better you're going to get. And when this little bit's left over, if this is in the way, I'll show you how you move that with pliers. But it's a little tough, but if you kind of move the metal a little bit to start in the direction you want, hopefully I'm not getting in the way of the camera here, then you can get a good grip on it. And then basically, if these things bent a little funny so that like when you put the dash pod in, it's hitting on the backside a little bit, if you have a pair of pliers kind of like this, you can kind of just grab it the right way and just kind of bend it slightly back out of the way. Same thing down here. It's all on the angle. But if it ends up getting in the way, a little something like that, a little something like that. Most of the time it won't, but in case it does. And that's about it. And you got to repeat the same process for the passenger side. Hope that helps.
This is the factory connector into the factory pod. You're just going to press this little tab right here and pull out to remove the connector. Cool. Now to install the right passenger pod, we're just going to attach the factory connector into the provided connector. And mount the speaker right back into the same spot. There you go. Speaker is mounted. I'm going to snap the trim panel piece back on and screw the factory screws back in. There you go. Passenger side knee speaker using the select increment dash pod has been installed. Now we'll go ahead and move over to the passenger soundbar, and then we'll do the same thing that we did on the passenger side on the driver's side. All right, so we're in the passenger side soundbar here. We're gonna remove the factory grill. This has 4 screws holding the grill in, and you're gonna reuse these screws to screw the grill back in. Just be mindful that when you remove the screw is also holding in the speaker behind it. So removing the screw is going to pull the grill down, but the speaker is going to come with it. So just be careful, this may fall down. So just kind of hold it as you're removing the screws, the last one at least. And as I said, the screw is also holding the speaker in. Just be careful of that. And remove the speaker connector. Just gonna press the little tab in here, pull the connector out. The new speaker is gonna come with the connector already attached. We wrap tape around here just to prevent the noise vibration, just in case it bounces around, so you don't hear it bouncing around. If you're gonna do it yourself, just put tape around there. But coming from us, we'll have tape around it already. Snap that in. And these tabs are going to line up with the factory locations. And the grill reach right over that. This is a 5 1/4 inch coax speaker that we're using here. We're just going to screw that back in right into the factory spots. There you go. And we're going to move on to the driver's side now. All right, now we're on the driver's side soundbar. We're going to repeat the same process that we did on the passenger side. We're going to remove the 4 factory screws. removing the grill, which is also holding the speaker in, so be careful when you drop that down. You don't hit yourself in the face with the speaker. So let's remove the 4 factory screws. Same thing over here. Push the tab, pull the connector out, take our new speaker with our connector attached. Using the factory screws, align a 5 1/4 speaker up with the factory holes. All right, there you go. The driver side soundbar speaker has been installed, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the driver side dash speaker. Here we are on the driver side. We're going to do the same thing for the dash pod on the driver side that we did for the passenger side. There's 2 screws on the left side here. We're going to remove both the screws, remove the trim piece. We're going to remove the 4 screws from the factory speaker, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Let's go ahead and get these 2 screws out to pull the trim off. There's the 2 screws to remove from the top and the 2 to remove from the bottom. There's the factory connector you're going to remove. You're going to press this little tab in here and just pull that right out. Now to install our driver dash pod. So this says left driver. Go ahead and connect that. Just mount right in, back to the factory locations using the factory screws. There you go. New speaker pod is in. We're going to reinstall the trim and reinstall the 2 screws on the sides. There you have it. The driver side knee dash speaker has been replaced and we're done. All right, there you go. We installed Trail 7's plug-and-play speaker bundle into this 2005 TJ. I hope you enjoyed watching this. We certainly enjoyed showing you how easy this was to install. If you'd like to pick up your full speaker bundle or any other audio accessory for your TJ, please visit us today at www.trail7.com. Until next time, we'll see you out there.